Good news for all the night owls out there. In the year 2038, a deadly virus hits the Earth. If you fall asleep, you die. The only survivors are those who force themselves to stay awake with hormones. At a late night party, two guys start arguing over something small. One of them accidentally pushes their friend off the couch. But the weird part is the guy just drops to the floor and doesn't get up. Mark rushes over to check on him, but the guy's not breathing. He immediately starts CPR and shouts for his friends to call the police. But nobody picks up at the police station. When the others at the table see someone's died, they come up with excuses and run for it. Mark runs inside to find someone to help, but in the bedroom a couple is just lying there completely still. They're not breathing either. Mark thinks maybe there's been a gas leak. He covers his mouth and nose and tells Jim 3 of their friends have stopped breathing. If they stay in the house any longer, they might be next. So Mark tells Jim to help him load the bodies into the car. Then they head to the hospital for help. But once they get there, they're horrified to see the hallways packed with bodies. There's no time to think, so they just rush to find a doctor. Dr. Anna comes out with her team right away. She takes one look and says there's nothing they can do. They'll have to leave the bodies in the car for now. The hospital is already overwhelmed with patients who died mysteriously tonight. They're running out of staff and equipment. They can only wait for the police to arrive and start the real investigation. So Mark and Jim just sit anxiously in the lobby. Patients with no one to help them just close their eyes and rest. But nobody realizes every emergency line in the city is down. Sensing something's wrong, the hospital director just ditches everyone and leaves. Anna turns to the nurse for help, but after working all night, the nurse says she needs a quick nap first. She has no idea this will be the last nap she'll ever take. Mark is the first to notice something strange. He sees an old man who fell asleep and is now foaming at the mouth, obviously unconscious. Mark quickly calls for the man's family, but right then a woman suddenly goes limp and collapses too. Anna hears the commotion and rushes over. When she sees what's going on, she runs to wake up the rest of the staff, but finds they're all gone. Now everyone is completely lost, and still no way to contact the police. Anna realizes something even bigger is happening outside. She takes Mark and Jim and drives to the city center, but the streets are totally empty. Anna fires a shot into the air, but there's no response. She realizes everyone in town probably died in their sleep. Anna guesses this must be some new kind of virus, and only night shift workers have survived. So she quickly decides to warn all survivors. She tells them they have to stay awake no matter what. It's the only way to keep the virus from spreading. But now all cell phones are down. There's no easy way to get the message out. That's when Jim remembers the radio station. They can send out a broadcast. But just as they're about to go, their car breaks down. At that moment, Mark's girlfriend Lisa gets a call. She just broke up with Nick. She thinks he's calling to make up. She tells him she just finished a night shift, and she'll talk after she's had some sleep. Before Mark can explain, she hangs up. So Mark has no choice but to walk to Lisa's place. He finally gets there before she falls asleep, but when he tells Lisa what's going on, she just thinks he's making things up. Lisa doesn't believe Mark would come up with a story like this just to win her back. Suddenly, the radio starts playing Anna's voice. Anna and Jim have made it to the station. They tell everyone listening the truth and ask all the survivors to come to the hospital. Hearing this, Lisa's face turns pale with fear.